So what would you do if you went to your door one evening and you found a 17-year-old boy standing on your stoop with a bloody nose and evidence of other injuries? What would you do if you wouldn't go to the emergency room? If he told you he'd been assaulted? And what would you do if he said he was homeless? These aren't rhetorical questions. These are real questions that a real member of this congregation had to address here in Hendersonville. Last year, the Henderson County Public School System identified over 300 homeless children, and of those, 86 were unaccompanied. That means that they were homeless without a parent or a guardian. And these numbers are probably underestimates because the kids don't want you to know, and we're not counting the dropouts. And worse than that, there's no shelter for homeless youth in this town. Sure, the rescue mission can take some families, and under special arrangement in very rare circumstances, they'll take a single adolescent male. But even they say that's not an ideal arrangement. And Mainstay can take a few if the head of household's female and the conditions are right. But there's no shelter here that's just for adolescent teenagers. That's where we come in. I'm here to talk about Homes for Youth, which is a new organization. This group began as a group of laywomen who were a part of Henderson County Churches Uniting. That's a 7-church coalition in Hendersonville, of which First Methodist is a member. We began meeting on an ad hoc basis just because the numbers were so alarming. And when we realized the state of things here in Hendersonville, we took it to the entire team, and they officially endorsed us and urged us to continue our research. We researched this topic for over a year, and at the end of the year, we decided to throw our meetings open to other churches in the community. Since then, we've had meetings where representatives from 10 to 12 congregations have come, where members of the Department of Juvenile Justice have come, where we've had social workers who are actually running residential homes visit with us and give us advice. Homeward Bound has been present. We've had members of other charitable organizations come just to give us advice. We've continued meeting with lots of potential partners in the community. And we've decided, though you can't solve homelessness at one go because there are so many causes, and we'll have to do something in tiers where each step depends on the success of the prior one. We've decided to take a bite out of the problem by starting a residential shelter for teenage girls. We made our decision to go after girls, partly because at the time the decision was made, we had data that was last year's data showing that homeless girls outnumbered homeless boys 2 to 1. Incidentally, the most recent data for this current year shows that girls and boys are about equal. We also felt that girls were at least perceived to be more vulnerable than boys. So our idea is to run a licensed, professionally staffed 6 to 8 bed unit for girls 16 to 18 years old who are in school or who are in job training. Likely referrals will come from the school system and probably DSS, the Department of Social Services, as well. We are currently speaking to a faith-based professional organization about handling staffing for us. We're really excited about everything they have to offer. They consider this to be their ministry, and their heart is truly in it for these girls, and their standard of care is the highest possible. There's some really horrible statistics about homeless youth. According to the National Network for Youth, 45% of homeless youth suffer from mental illness. Substance abuse is far more common, up to 18 times more likely that a young person will try crack cocaine if they're homeless. 95% of homeless youth have engaged in sexual intercourse, and a third of those have done so in exchange for money, drugs, food, or shelter. The incidence of rape and assault is 2 to 3 times in homeless youth what it is in young people in the general population, as illustrated by the story I started with. So our goal is to change lives. We want to reverse this cycle of neglect, rejection, and abuse. We want to provide these children with opportunities that are not available to them now. We want to be part of making a change. We want to provide a chance for them to pursue higher education. We want to give them good role models so that they will know what true parenting looks like. We want to offer them opportunities to be treated for the problems they bring. We want to help them reconcile whatever that looks like with their families. Our goal is to change lives. It won't be cheap, and it won't be easy. We have to find a facility, we have to rehab it, we have to obtain a license, and we have to pay professional staff. We have a real opportunity here. These kids are the last, the least, and the lost. And this is what church is about. And here we have a chance to make a real difference in these lives. If our church wants to be the missional church it says it is, I ask you to support this cause. If I've touched your heart, if you're interested in this, we would love to hear more from you. If you would like to volunteer, if you would like to donate, or if you would like more information, you can contact me, Kathleen Lambert. I'm listed in the church directory, and Homes for Youth has a phone number, which is 551-0537.